Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to estimate the error associated with proportions with a Sharp EL-501X2B. The general formula is P hat. Now that's the letter P and then the word hat, H-A-T, P hat. And that's equal to X over N. So N is the sample size and X is the favorable responses. So if you went out and surveyed 78 people and 23 responded favorably, let's say, then it would be 23 over 78. So the error that we're looking for is equal to Z of alpha over 2 times the square root of P hat times 1 minus P hat over N. Now some books, instead of calling it 1 minus P hat, could call it Q hat. So some authors do that. But 1 minus P hat and Q hat mean exactly the same thing. So we're just going to write 1 minus P hat. So an example where P hat is a fraction might look like this. 1.96 times the square root of 23 over 78 times 55 over 78 all over 78. Now you'll notice that the 78 is the denominator of this fraction. And on this fraction, the denominator is 78. And of the entire fraction, of the entire complex fraction, the denominator is 78 the same. It'll normally be the same. See, X over N, and you're dividing by N. So what you could do, usually in this case, when you have it written as a fraction, is to simply cube or take to the third power the 78. So, and let me show you how to do that on this calculator. You would clear this, go 1.96 times, no, you have to do open parentheses. And you have to do all of this inside and close the parentheses in order to hit the square root. So you hit the square root at the very end, well, before the equal to sign. So it'd be 23 times 55 divided by 78. Now to the third power, you hit the Y to the X button, and then number 3. Close that parentheses. So this is what all this stuff is equal to. You hit the square root of it, and then equals at the end. 0.101195, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's see, first it was 1.645 times the square root of 0.817 times 0.183 divided by 420. So in the second example, what we see is that instead of writing it as a fraction, we round it to, say, for instance, 3 decimal places. When you're talking about proportions, we often round it to 3 decimal places. That's very common. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this. I would go 1.645 times, in parentheses, I'd go 0.817 times 0.183 divided by 420, close parentheses, and then you hit the square root. But don't forget the equal to, or do remember the equal to sign. 0.03103, 686, et cetera, et cetera. All right, I do want to point out something. Do you see after that 3, it becomes a 7? But this calculator leaves this as a 3. In other words, it does not round. So this last digit is insignificant. So don't really trust that last number. Hopefully you don't have to go to that many decimal places. Usually only around to, like I said, 3 decimal places. But if you had to, just do not trust that last digit. That last digit could be off. It's either that digit or 1 higher. If it was rounded, it should be 6/4. Either there's a 7 afterwards. Anyway, I hope that you find this helpful. I hope you're learning your calculator. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.